I don't know why people don't train for emergency exits. It doesn't make any sense to me. Um, Maybe it's because the idea scares people so much that they don't want to think about it. It's possible. I think it's more likely that we're just busy doing our regular jumping. I think that it's fun if we frame it that way. You know, that to do an emergency, exit thing, not in the, in the sky. I think it's not necessary. Although it might be kind of fun, for everybody to just all right, engine's out. Just pretend, don't turn it off. And all right, we got to get out, and you get out at $3,000 or something like that, and see how well you can get out of the plane in kind of an orderly fashion. Why not, right? But if we at least do it on the ground and think through, how are we
going to get out of the airplane
in a way that doesn't compromise what we got left. In other words, the airplane, presumably, if everybody's sitting in the right locations, the airplane's weight and balance is correct. And yet, if everybody starts getting out of the plane, depending on where the door of the plane is, like a Cessna 206, you can find the aircraft very quickly aft loaded, right? And of course, if everybody's rushing to the door in a Twin Otter, you can find the airplane quickly aft loaded, where the aircraft in its normal correct CG, and the pilot isn't capable of keeping the nose, and of course the nose down on the pitch axis orientation is essential to keep the airplane flying. Otherwise, he's going to stall and you can't recover. So to think that through in terms of where everybody's going to be and being patient, to me, it's not just about going into every man for himself, freak out and jump out of the plane and climb over the people who haven't taken off their seatbelt yet, that kind of thing. Instead, help
people get
out of the plane and speak calmly. And when you're in an emergency, I'm getting smoked out. Simulated aircraft emergency with fire. Don't get your dander up too much. Speak extra slow. Speak loudly
and slowly.
Even though your voice may naturally want to gravitate towards louder and higher and faster, speak slower and directly. And just like when they say, call an ambulance, you want to tell somebody to call an ambulance because you're dealing with the injured person, right? You don't just yell to the sky, someone call 911 or 112 or whatever it is in your country. You call out a specific person. You say, you, dial 911. You, go boil some water. The lady's going into labor. You, bring me some, clean towels or whatever it is. You have to go through that procedure very clearly in a way that people respond to. And people don't respond very well in a crisis to fast talking. Speak extra slow. Other things, of course, to consider is, are people able to get out from where they are in a safe manner? Or do they, is their seatbelt still on? Are there other things to consider, like tandems? Are they actually ready to go? The tandem needs some extra time, but you can instead have other people exiting, before the tandems do, while they get their stuff ready. Why waste time? Here's a term. Maybe this will be another one of those takeaway things. I apply this to lots of different things in skydiving. Here's I'm out at my wood pile here. So see if you can remember this one. Hurry slowly. Right? Think about that one. Instead of rushing, to the point where you're out of control, find a way to hurry slowly where you get the job done, but you keep yourself out of panic. Well, first of all, the person who's panicking never thinks they're the one that's panicking. They think they're just justified in their response. And the other thing, of course, is that your level of panic is affecting other people's level of panic. So you have a responsibility to keep things calm and cool. Is is really a responsibility of everybody on board an airplane. And I've been in a whole bunch of these, where the pilot says, "Everybody out." It happened more in the old days, but it will continue to happen. And I don't think it's good to go on the Pollyanna attitude that, well, nowadays turbine engines don't just drop dead like the old reciprocating piston engines did. Well, maybe it's true, maybe it isn't. Do you want to be found with your pants down, totally relaxed, you haven't tightened up your gear before you get on the plane, you don't know where everything is, and then they say, "Everybody out," and you're at 2,200 feet, and you don't have a lot of time to get ready to go. You might be the one that leaves the airplane without your helmet, right? You might be the one that leaves the airplane with your chest strap loose and your leg straps loose. Well, that's going to be even less fun, right? You're going to be the one that gets startled, surprised when something different happens because you weren't expecting something weird to happen. So I think that's one of the more important ideas is to, without being paranoid, tricky one. Without being paranoid, how do you stay fastidious and vigilant and ready for anything so you don't get the startle response? I think part of that is the longer you jump and fly and do adventure things, the more exciting moments, unexpected exciting moments you run into, and so you get less surprised. You're like, "Oh, it's that again, huh?" And there's a part of you that's like, not surprised that things got weird. So you keep yourself cool. You keep yourself in the hero mentality, I think, by remaining calm, not being surprised by anything, and immediately
Moving on to solutions.
sort of collective solution mindset. It's not just me solving the problem, not just me surviving, but everybody. If you got to get out of the plane or you got to stay in the plane, everybody is going to be doing the same thing. We're all going to agree, and guess who the boss is, right? It's the pilot in command. And so when in doubt, look to the pilot. And sometimes it's not so clear who's the boss of the jumpers. In other places, it's very, very clear. Either way, if everybody looks towards the pilot and listens, and if the pilot has to talk to the spotter, and that spotter's really far away, way across the airplane, clear the aisle, make room. Don't be moving around. Don't alter the center of gravity of the airplane, preparing to exit or whatever it is, because you don't necessarily know what you're going to do. So you stay calm, you keep talking, and then you make your decision. And I think this is it's a great metaphor for lots of different things in life. If you remain calm and you keep communicating and you keep sort of thinking logically in proportion. And I think that rationality, I feel like that's this experience that humanity is going through right now has really been an interesting exercise in rational thought. In other words, proportions, likelihoods, probabilities. There's a lot of things to be afraid of, but some of them are not likely. A meteor falling on your head, well, it's probably not that likely, so maybe you should not be thinking about it all day long because it's a waste of your time, because it's not in proportion to the likelihood that it's going to occur. And if something's here and now, what's the most important thing to deal with now, right now, in this moment? And that includes matters of the heart. It includes cooperation. It includes speaking lovingly, and peacefully and respectfully to everybody around you, because we're all equal. We all deserve to be here. And so, how do we, get through this crazy-ass crisis? I think we do it together. Working together, thinking together, solving the problem through individual steps that are the next logical step. That includes well-being for all. So. Honey, squeeze me, oh so tight, but drag over your whole body. I said, yeah. Safe hugging. Somebody's got to invent safe hugging. Safe hugging. We got to bring back hugging.
The dog is